So I'll just gong to set us off. Lift and roll your shoulders. Come to hands at the chest centre. This actually sets your posture. Inhaling, raising your hands, and clasping your hand as you reverse. Breathing out, come to one side. Try to keep your head centre between your arms. Inhale, come to the centre and lift up, pressing your feet into the ground. As you breathe out and come to the other side, you can bring your chin into your chest slightly. Inhaling, coming up to the centre. Breathing out, turn as little or as much as you would like to one side. Breathing in, come back to the centre. And breathing out, turn as little or as much as you would like to the other side. And come back to the centre. Keeping your arms above your head, lift your heels. A balance, and then breathing out, lower your heels back down to the ground and separate your hands, bringing them to shoulder height. Breathing out, turn your head to one side, come to the centre, and breathing out, turn your head to the other side and come to the centre. Lower your arms and once more lift and roll the shoulders. And placing your hands on your waist, take your feet a good hip width apart. This is an abdominal wake up, a very gentle abdominal wake up. So bending your knees, your bottom goes away from you, your chin slightly comes towards your chest, and you bend your knees as little or as much as you would like. Press your feet down to come back upright and lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. This sets your pose and opens the energetic pathways going to the head. Come to slide your hands down your legs, resting comfortably at the shins, then press your hands into your shins as you have a sense of extending from your tailbone to the top of your head and your chin tucks in. Breathe out, bend your knees further and elbows go out to the side, curling in. Inhale as you press your hands into your shins again and straightening your knees a little bit more. And stay here as you breathe out. Breathing in, soften your knees, press your feet into the ground and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Once more lift and roll your shoulders. Clasp your hands behind you and aim your knuckles towards the ground so that you're opening your shoulders. Breathing out, turn to the left as little or as much as you'd like. Breathing in, come to the centre. And breathing out, turn to the right. And come to the centre. This is optional. You can either stay like this, upright, or if you want to take it a little step further, bend your knees, come forward, and then again, optionally, you can lift your hands behind you once your head is down. This is all optional. Breathing out, lower your hands, and then breathing in, gently come to upright, and lift and roll your shoulders. And then once more, you can either hold your wrists or hold your elbows, or you might like to do what's called reverse prayer, which is really very helpful for connecting to energy meridians that we might not do otherwise. So there are, by bringing the little fingers together, if you can get there, quite beneficial, but don't worry if you can't do that. And just reverse prayer behind like this is quite helpful anyway. It opens you up. Feel that you're opening your elbows. And then once more, turn to the left. Inhaling, come back to the centre. And breathing out, turn to the right. And come to the centre. Release your reverse prayer. Just open and close your hands. And once more, lift and roll your shoulders. And then inhaling, raising your hands up. You either look ahead or you look up to your thumbs, depending on your neck, and stretch your fingers so that your thumb is coming towards your head and your little fingers are pointing away from you. Really press your feet into the ground, stretch up as you breathe in, and then relax as you breathe out. Breathing in, stretch up again, and breathing out, lower your hands back down to your side. And once more, lift and roll your shoulders. So this next sequence is a variation on what we've just done. So we start in a very similar way as we raise our hands up, reverse, and palms go to the ceiling. If for some reason you have a stiffness in the shoulders, just bend your elbows more. Breathing out, move to one side. Breathing in, come to the centre and stretch up, feet into the ground. Then breathing out, come to the other side. Press your feet into the ground as you once more stretch up again. Breathing out, turn slightly to one side. Come back to the centre and breathing out, turn slightly to the other side. And breathing in, come to the centre. Lower your hands and then turn your palms so that they face upwards. Take your feet a little bit further apart and carry on coming down. Come down as little or as much as you'd like. So you can come down to a half bend. You can come down to a much greater squat. Lower your head to wherever you feel comfortable and breathing out, turn over your left ankle. Feel the stretch in your right lateral side. Come to the centre and breathing out, turn to the other side. So you feel the stretch on your left side. Come to the centre. Reverse your hands and just place the palms of the hands on the ground to support you as you bend down a little bit more. And then just soften your knees to come up a little bit more. And then take your hands to hold your calves. And then bend your knees, just curling in. And just feel the stretch along your back and also lower back and really thighs as well. And then just release. Use your hands against your shins to roll up vertebra by vertebra to bring you back upright. And then just adjust your feet and bring your hands, palms up, just below your navel. Your hara in the yogic world and also dantian in the Chinese world. So connecting to your centre and connecting to your breath in this case. And then inhaling, breathing in as you raise your hands up and relaxing. And breathing in as you raise your hands up, over your head and down. And once more breathing in as you raise your arms and hands up and over your head. Back to the dantian. And then raise your arms like wings slightly higher, and as you breathe out, bend so it looks as if you're flying. Breathing in, raising your arms as much or as little as you want, and breathing out. This is a very simple way to move all your joints. And the air, as it comes through your fingers, activates a sense of touch. So it activates your heart center, that's so closely connected to your respiratory center. You can gently bend your knees a little bit more, or just keep them very soft. And then gently bring your hands once more to the dantian, the hara. Just connect into your breath. And then take one hand on the waist. You're opening the lung of that side as you take a couple of breaths. And then release that hand back to the dantian. The hand comes to the other side. You're opening the other lung. You're giving space. But you're also giving space under your arms to the lymph nodes under your arms, which connects into the energetic pathway, but also the lymph system. Come back to the dantian, and then both elbows out. This encourages you to lift up your spine and just stand, stacking your vertebra one above the other, as well as opening your lungs. This, again, just make sure that this movement encourages you to drop your shoulders away from your ears, so you're holding no tension. And then just releasing the hands down. Bring the hands once more to the centre. And then in your own time, and taking the time to come back down to the mat. Your legs are out in front of you. And we're going to start with a very Tibetan movement, which forms part of something called yantra yoga, which is the medicine side of yoga. So as we start the session, lift the flesh out from under your bottom. Just press your hands or fingers lightly into the ground and come once more to a prayer position. Your toes are upright. Inhale, raise your hands up above. Stretch your fingers. And breathing out, bend your elbows backwards. Make sure your shoulders are lowered away from your ears. Stretch your fingers out, stretch your toes out. And breathing out, clench your fingers and clench your toes in. Inhaling, stretch your toes and stretch your fingers out. Breathing out, clench everything in. Inhale, stretch. Breathe out, clench. Inhale, stretch. Breathe out, clench. Inhale, stretch for the last time. Clench for the last time. Release that grip as you raise your hands once more upwards. And breathing out, bring your abdomen slightly towards your backbone as you lower your hands and slide them along your shins. Coming forward into a forward bend, calming for the nervous system, opening the vertebrae and encouraging breath into our backs.
accessing the adrenals on top of the kidneys. The chin tucks in gently to the chest, which is excellent for the vagus nerve and decreasing any inflammation. And then sliding your hands up. Bend one knee and just very gently swing one leg, lubricating the knee joint. And then slide your hand down that leg on the shin and just manually circle your ankle with your hand one way and circle your ankle the other way. And note if your hand does most of the work, the circling, or whether you assist it by moving your ankle at the same time. If you want to, but this is optional, you can thread your fingers through your toes and just bend backwards and forwards a couple of times. And again, notice if your hands control the movement or whether you lead with your toes, and then just supporting the leg to return that leg back to the ground. Bounce your legs. And then slide up your other leg and just again swing the lower leg, lubricating the knee joint. And then slide your hand down that leg and turn it to the side, supporting your leg as you rotate your ankle manually, using your hand in one way, one direction, and then reverse that direction and rotate in the other direction. And then optionally thread your fingers through your toes and just extend your toes up and then down. So it's a way of activating both your toes but also connecting into energy meridians throughout your entire body. And then just gently support your leg as you put the foot on the ground and extend your leg out once more. Just bounce your knees. Bend your knees and we're going to come to kneeling in cat. So your knees are hip width apart, your hands are shoulder width apart. And as you dip your back, either look along the mat or look slightly upwards. And breathing out, round your back, your chin comes to your chest. Inhaling, dipping your back. And breathing out, rounding, chin comes towards the chest. Inhaling, dipping your back. And breathing out, chin to chest. You might like to take your knees slightly wider as you bring your bottom towards your heels. You don't have to bring your bottom right down, it can sit above, and you stretch out your hands. And take a couple of breaths here, just feeling the stretch along your back, particularly in the thoracic area. And then sliding your hands back. You might want to move your knees. Cat, dipping your back. Cow, rounding chin to chest. Bring your bottom towards your heels. You might want to stretch your hands out a little bit. Slide your hands back a little bit to cat, dipping your back. Rounding chin to chest and then bringing your bottom towards your heels. You have the option of stretching out a little bit. And then dipping your back cat. As you round chin to chest, tuck your toes underneath And then one knee lifts, the other knee, both knees are lifting. Push back into a very soft downward dog, beginning to lengthen your legs. And you can make a wider down dog if you want to, by bending one knee and bending the other, widening your feet. You can start to sway your bottom from side to side. And then bend both knees and come back down to the ground. Untuck your toes and bring your bottom once more towards your heels, stretching out. As you stretch out, you can move both hands to the left. This opens out the right side. Bring your hands to the centre and move both hands to the other direction, stretching out the other side. Bring your hands back to the centre. Kneel up into cat. Dip your back, round your back, chin to chest. Tuck your toes. Engage your lower abdominal muscles slightly towards your backbone by about 10 or 20% to protect your, and then lift your knees into a soft downward dog. And once more walk the dog by bending one knee and then the other knee. You can sway your hips from side to side. Bend both knees back down to the ground, and this time move your hands to the left to allow your right foot to step up. Move your hands either side of your right foot and just explore slightly coming forward, stretching your hips. Come back to a 90-degree angle and lift up with your hands on your knees. Lift and roll your shoulders and open your palms. You can look forward or you can look up. Bring your head upright as you raise your hands, stretching your fingers once more. And breathing out, turn to face the inside of your right leg. I'm going to place my left hand on my thigh and my right hand goes on my waist. I'm inhaling as I lengthen my spine and breathing out, I'm turning. My head is the last thing to turn. Inhaling, coming back to the centre as you breathe out. Then inhale, raise your arms. And breathing out, come forward, laying your body along your leg to support you until your hands get back down to the earth. And then slide your right foot back. And once more, you're in cat as you just gently sway from side to side. Rockabye baby. Just swirling your abdominal energy, your apana energy. And then dip your back in cat again. Breathing out round your back, chin comes to chest. Once more, tuck your toes. Lower abdomen in, coming into a very soft dog. Your heels don't touch the ground, they aim towards the ground. And in dog, you can keep your knees bent for lower back protection. You can also widen your feet. That can be helpful for lower back. Just bend one knee and then the other, walking the dog. You can try bending both knees and then straightening both legs a little bit. And now bend both knees and come back down to the mat. Your hands go to the right this time, which allows space for your left foot to come up, and hands go either side of your left foot, just stretching forward. And then coming to upright, using your hands to support you on your knee and opening your hands, looking up or straight ahead. Bring your head forward as you raise your hands up. Enjoy the stretch, stretch your fingers.
And then breathing out, turn to the inside of your left leg, hand on the hip. Lift your body as you breathe in, and breathing out, turn. Your head is the last thing to turn. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to the centre. Raise your hands once more, and breathing out, come forward, hands either side of your front foot. And then slide your left foot back. And once more come to a cat position. And this time we're going to make a figure of 8 as you swirl your bottom in a circle. Cross your 8, come forward and swirl at the top. You make your circles as big or as small as you like. You can bring your hands forward if you want to make a more forward movement. And then you can reverse your 8 as well if you would like. Bring your bottom towards your heels as you just stretch out. Extended swan. Taking in and out breath. And then sliding your hands towards your knees. Come once more to a seated position and have your feet open in a wide V. Just take the flesh out from under your bottom. Inhaling, raising your hands. Turn towards your outstretched left leg and breathing out, slide forward. Hands rest on the shin. Keep your hands on your shin as you breathe in, lifting up. Slide your hands up a little bit and breathing out, slide them down. Breathing in, slide them up, and breathing out, slide them down. And breathing in, slide up, breathing out, slide down. Walk your hands up, come to just bring your hands either side of your body just to support you and lengthen your body again. And inhaling, raising your hands. Turn towards the outstretched right leg and bending your elbows, slide your hands down the right shin. Keep your hands on your shin as you slide the hands up your shin slightly. Breathing out, slide them down. Breathing in, slide your hands up. And breathing out, sliding down. Breathing in, sliding the hands up, and breathing out, sliding down. Walk your hands up your body again. Breathing in, raise your hands. Breathing out, lower your hands. And then use your hands to support you under your thighs, just to lift your thighs. Bring your feet together. Just slide your hands down your shins again as you just lean forward for a couple of breaths. And then sitting up, hands either side of you on the mat, to come to a lying position. Knees bent, feet hip width apart. And just start by having your hands resting on your abdomen so that your elbows move out to the side. Your feet can be slightly wider than hip width apart as you let both knees drift to one side, your hip will lift. Bring your knees to the centre and drift both knees to the other side.
come to the centre, knees to one side, centre and knees to the other side, and centre. You can stay with this movement, or you can additionally introduce moving your head away from the direction of your knees. So as your knees go right, your head turns to the left, and your left hip lifts. Knees and head back to the centre, and your knees go to the other direction. Your head's looking away from your knees. Come back to the centre. Knees one way, head the other. And then just release and come back to the centre. Your hands are resting on your abdomen. So just very gently take one hand, and it's normally your dominant hand, so right hand mostly, and just make little circles around your navel. You've got a number of acupressure points centred around and below, above and below the navel. It can be very comforting just to make little circles. Your hand will naturally go in a direction that's good for you, but it tends to go to the right, up, across the left and down, which is following our natural digestive pattern, our path. And then just come to rest the hands at the abdomen, and just notice as you're breathing in, your abdomen rises slightly and your abdomen falls. And then just place your hands palms down on the ground. You might like to bring your elbows in slightly, and you might like to adjust your feet slightly more inwards. We do a pelvic tilt, pressing the hands down as you flatten the back, just slightly lifting up the bottom, and then breathing out, lowering everything to the ground. And as you relax, there's a little gap under your lower back. Flattening the back as you go to lift your bottom, and then just releasing, leaving that little gap under your lower back. And again, flattening your back as you go to lift your bottom up, and then breathing out, lowering your bottom. This time, press your feet down, lift your bottom actually, lift your arms bent at the elbows, and raise your arms above your head, your chin tucks in. Come up on your feet as little or as much as you would like, and breathing out, then lower your arms and bottom back down to the ground. And when they're down, bring your feet, lift your feet from the ground and hug your knees into your chest. Just rocking gently from side to side. Bring your knees centrally and then hug them into your chest. Still holding them, let them travel away from you to arm's length. Hugging the knees into the chest, and just let them travel away. Hugging the knees into the chest, and let them travel away. Hug the knees into the chest, and let them travel away. And hug the knees into the chest, and let them travel away. And then supporting the knees or legs under your thighs, let one foot and then the other foot go back down onto the mat. And just once more, connect, resting your hands on your abdomen, your elbows can be out. And as you breathe in, step your breath in. So breathe in a little bit, hold, breathe in a bit more, hold, and breathe in completely. And then release the breath in one exhalation. Breathe in a little bit, hold, breathe in a little bit more, and breathe in completely. Hold the breath in, and then breathe out. And last time, step the breath in your own time. And now we can reverse that, breathe in all one go, and then step the breath out. Breathe out a little bit, hold, breathe out a little bit, hold, and breathe out completely. Breathe in one go, breathe out a little bit, then a little bit more, and then completely. Breathe in a little bit in one go, and then breathe out a little bit more, and then completely. And either now stay with your knees bent, you can bring the knees together in constructive rest, or just for a moment or two relax on the ground completely in Shavasana. And we're going to go through the body, but this time in the colour therapy. There are different systems and different colours, but this is perhaps the most standard one. So starting by imagining that your entire body, inside and out, is breathing in a red colour. It's connected to your base of your spine, connects to the earth element. And as you breathe in your red, you breathe out and put into that red mist that breathes out anything that you don't want, any aches or pains or worries. And now as you breathe in, imagine that your light has changed to an orange light. And you're breathing in an orange colour, inside and outside. And as you breathe out, you put into that orange out breath anything that you don't want, any pains or any thoughts. And now the colour changes again. And as you breathe in the colour yellow, whatever hue of yellow suits you. It could be gold yellow or bronze yellow to a vivid yellow. And again, breathe out anything that you don't want. This colour relates very much to your solar plexus, your central energy. And this time you can choose the colour associated with the heart. In this system can either be pink or green. So choose your shade and breathe in that colour, letting it expand and diffuse to your entire body and outside your body. And then breathing out anything you don't want. And then the colour associated with the next level is blue. And here choose the blue that you want. It's very much connected with speaking your truth. The ancients used it for protection. Breathing in blue, calming colour. Breathing out what you don't need any longer. And then the next colour is indigo. So breathing in, indigo. Lovely diffusing shade, connects to your mind, your brain, your thoughts. And breathe out any thoughts you don't want today. And then finally we come to the colour that unifies everything. It can be white, but you can also imagine little tinges of gold or silver in there too. So again, you can choose what resonates with you today. So breathing in inside and outside your body is a cleanser. It acts as a cocoon, totally purifying and cleansing you and getting rid of anything that you don't want, that's superfluous in your life that you don't need, and offering you a shell or a cloud of protection for the day ahead. So you can stay entirely where you are and just relax. Or you can just come to a seated position to finish the class, taking either a physical or a mental bow for yourself to have a lovely day ahead. And thank you very much for joining me.